Welcome to the Market Snapshot. I'm your host, Dan French with Nova Home Loans, your go-to loan expert here in Las Vegas. And I'm here today with my friend Chuck. Chakits, what's going on today, Chuck?
Nothing much.
So, guys, I just want to say thank you for tuning into our show. We'll provide up-to-date information on all the news and information going on in the Las Vegas market. And, you know, guys, something's really kind of affected me a little bit here recently. And this is going to be a shout-out to everybody that either has somebody that's experienced a friend or family or somebody that has cancer. Just wanted to throw a quick shout out because, you know, guys, this is a very, very trying time for anybody that does experience somebody that they do love with cancer. You know, I had an uncle that 6 months ago was diagnosed with cancer, and it's very traumatizing to see some of the things that go on with somebody that you love when you really have no control to help them. And I don't know if you've ever experienced somebody like that as far as somebody you know or love or trust or anybody that maybe has cancer. Have you ever?
No, not at all. And that's something that I wouldn't want to wish on anybody.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very tough situation. But, you know, anybody out there that does have it, you know, my condolences to you. And there is places online I've looked at and things that if you do have somebody that does have it, you know, there's ways for them to see if they can either detect it, prevent it, or even help if you're going through it. So, guys, we have a great show today. I want to give a rundown of the show. Real quick, Chuck, how's your Sunday going, man?
My Sunday's going great. I mean, I love to be here. I love to be on the show. It's excellent.
Did you put that hopscotch team together?
Oh, yeah. Talking about that, hey, at the end of the day, at the end of the show here, I'm going to actually need an answer from you by the end of the show, because we actually came together as a group and was like, hey, we got to get Dan on the team. So, Dan, you need to figure out if you're going to come on this team or not, because we really do need you. So stop playing.
Well, you know, again, it's one of those things that do I really have the time for hopscotch? So we'll see. Going on to what's going on in Las Vegas, guys, we got a rugby, I guess it's a tournament or something going on here at Sam Boyd Stadium. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I think they started off at today about 7:30, and it's going on all day, isn't it?
I think so. What do you know about rugby?
Nothing, but it seems like a pretty tough sport, and those guys seems like I don't want to mess with.
Yeah, I was looking it up and going, you know, I was kind of curious. I was like, where does rugby even come from? And it came from England long time ago. It was actually their version of football. So, and I guess it originally started where you didn't use the hands, but I guess it's morphed into now you're using hands and everything, so I don't know.
So you started off using your feet?
Yeah, that's how it was, man. I think I was reading some stuff and I was like, wow, that's amazing. So, guys, thank you for tuning into our show. We have a great rundown here. Chuck's going to go over the housing market statistics. I'm going to talk about interest rates trending. We're going to go right from there into options after short sale foreclosure. This is something I really want you guys to listen to. Chakits has also put together a Cadence development project information that he wants to go over with you guys, and maybe you guys can get some insight about what's going on over there. FHA changes and refinance options. I've been doing this every week, so there's definitely some listen and find out see if this will help you. And then Chakits is also going to go over the hotspot zip codes to buy in, and we're going to start doing this every week just to give more insight on where maybe some of the deals are at. And moving forward, I would also like to let everybody know that if you guys want to tweet us in the show, you can always tweet me at 781NOVA, or you can send a message by going to 781nova.com. I can answer any questions. We're constantly reviewing these questions that are coming through. We have some already coming through now. And Chuck, we will be giving away a free lunch for 2 to Sammy's Pizza.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you guys later in the show, when we give you information to call in, we're going to give the next caller a free 2 lunch at Sammy's Pizza. It's right off of Rainbow. Very nice place. So going forward, guys, I just wanted to say again, thank you for tuning in. Chuck, what's going on with the housing market?
Well, with the housing market today, actually, as of yesterday, I pulled up all the information for single-family residents, and this actually includes townhomes, condominiums, manufactured duplex, triplexes, and fourplexes, and also high-rises, okay? We currently have on the market about 11,000 properties listed on the multiple listing service. For private sales, there's about 85%, which is we actually started to trend down from last week, about 2%. And short sales right now, we're looking at about 11% on the market, and we are starting to trend up on that as well. And on the REOs, which is the bank-owned properties, we are also starting to trend up by 2% from last week.
That sounds great. So if you're a buyer out there, What is the best thing from what you just said to them?
Well, basically, if you're a buyer, that means the sellers are starting to realize that their home is overpriced. Okay, it's been on the market for some time, and if you are a buyer, the good news is that now you're able to kind of shop around and take your time and ask for closing costs, and you can be more picky in today's market.
Well, that sounds really good. So, guys, if you have any questions, again, you can call into the show. The show is 257-5396. Again, that number is 257-5396. Excuse me. You can answer or ask any questions pertaining to real estate or financing. And so I want to talk about where rates ended this week. Everybody that I spoke with, seen that rates started to creep up by the end of the week, but mortgage bonds finished the week near unchanged, holding rates steady. Again, a clear indication that all week I've seen nothing but volatility through interest rates. There's a jobless claim that came in lower than expected, so that did have a contribution to what rates did at the end of the week. Rates did finish the week volatile, and it was unchanged and kind of choppy towards the end. I mean, at the end of the week, we lost a little bit on our pricing. And the 10-year Treasury yield did go up, so this could be an indication, guys, that rates may go up. I'm not saying they're going up, but it could be an indication. So, you really want to take a look at what we're doing here on the show, listening to what we have to offer. This release this upcoming week may provide a more indication of where the housing starts. Wednesday, assuming the two reports are in line, mortgage rates remain historically low, guys. So what I'm saying is, right now is still a great time to take advantage of interest rates. The rates are very low. You can save a lot of money by getting into a home, and it's still cheaper to buy a mortgage and have a mortgage than it is to rent in most situations, guys. So going forward, I want to also tell you, if you want a free mortgage assessment or if you have any questions regarding to the show, again, you can call us in studio at 257-5396 or schedule an appointment at 781-NOVA. That's 6682, 781-6682. If you want to ask me a question on Twitter, you can Twitter me at 781-NOVA. And if you guys don't have a Twitter account, you out there that really have not set up on Twitter yet, there is some of you, you can always go to my website at 781nova.com. We do have a questionnaire there where you can ask questions and we can answer them throughout the show. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what I want to talk about. And one of the things is the most important things to consider when buying a home. We're going to take it from my perspective, and then I'm going to ask Chakits what his perspective is. And we're going to start that direction and say, anytime anybody comes and talks with me, I've had numerous clients come in and say, every time it's always about what's my interest rate, and that's a huge, huge thing to look at. It's something that, interest rate's important because it directly ties right to your payment. It's something that you want to save money at. But I think there's other factors that consider that as far as what's important getting a loan. And the other ones that I look at is there's two other things that I really, really strongly tell everybody I meet with is what is the fees and what are you being charged for the loan that you're getting? Okay. And then the third thing is your service. Are you going to have the service that you would require? Things that's going to come through that you're always updated. You're never going to not know where the loan's at. And if there is an issue, which, guys, it's mortgages, we're all not perfect. There's going to be things that come up. And, when that comes up, you need to have somebody like myself that's going to come in and give you that support, call you when you need it, let you know what's going on with the file if there is an issue. And then, guys, listen, I told you every single Tuesday, if you're in a loan with me, you're going to get a Tuesday status call from me going, hey, this is where we're at. This is what's going on, and this is where we're going and heading. And I think those three things are important because rates are great. I mean, it's important. Interest rates are very, very important, but you need to blend that. You need to blend it with your fees. You need to blend it with the service and your overall experience. Because, guys, at the end of the day, we want to have future business. We want to have people that are going to have a referral out to us to say, hey, listen, we did a great job. We have friends and family that would benefit from your services because you did a phenomenal job. And, you're really in this business, you're as good as your last loan or you're as good as your last house. Is that right, Chuck?
That is correct.
So, Chuck, what is it for you? What is it for you that you have that makes it's important for you to, as far as a real estate standpoint, what's important? What are the things that you look at for a client?
Well, for a client, I think the main thing here is education. Is the key. Well, we really got to educate the client on what's going on with the marketplace, what should they be expecting, who's going to be part of their team, okay, and working with the lender, working with the agent, submitting the correct offers and to get the deal done correctly. And I think communication is the key here. So that way we're all on the same page.
Well, guys, we have a caller. I want to take this caller real quick. His name's Eugene. Eugene, you there?
What's up, Eugene?
Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, I just want to thank you, you both, for what you're doing for the community. I think it's awesome that we can just listen in and get some great real estate tips.
Nice.
Yeah, man. You have any questions, or you just wanted to throw a shout out?
Yeah, I got a question. I would wonder. I'm just kind of wondering, why wouldn't I just opt for a short sale versus a new purchase? I mean, I guess the interest rates and all that are probably a wash for either case. So, which one would you recommend? Going at a short sale, maybe getting more house for the dollar, or going new build?
Well,
and why?
Well, I mean, that really just depends on your current situation. Obviously, the first thing you're going to do is check the value of your property to see where it's currently at this time. And the second thing is you want to see if there's even a little bit of equity, or maybe you can refinance or talk to a lender. If that doesn't work, then if you're about $30,000 below what the average is, then you may want to consider a strategic short sale. And I think you have a program out there where after we do a short sale, you should be able to get a loan. Is that correct, Dan?
Yeah, that's correct. And I just wanted to tell you, we have options that if you do have a one day at a short sale foreclosure program, we can help you and assist you get right back into a home. If you have a significant credit impact, if you're trying to say, hey, do you want to purchase one and you don't have a significant impact, a credit impact, then yeah, I mean, it's a personal preference. I think you sometimes can get a deal if you do and you want to go and make an offer on a short sale. And you do have the ability to exercise that, so it just depends on what your preference is.
Yeah, because it sounds like the short sale market's kind of picking up again. And actually, I don't want to call myself a victim because I think that kind of puts a negative connotation to it, but I actually went through a short sale, and I just recently purchased a few years back. So I was able to recover from that. But I'm just kind of curious as if I want to buy a second home, should I actually look at the short sale market before looking at the new build market?
Well, I mean, as far as the answer to your question, to make it really simple and quick, just if you're looking to buy an investment property, then maybe a short sale is the way to go, because you can probably get up to about 10% of a discount. But nowadays on the short sale, these banks are asking, full asking price, and the time to wait is just not worth it. Now, as far as the new homes, when you buy a new homes, you're going to go into a new homes about $30,000 of negative equity. It's just like buying a new car. As soon as you pull it off the lot, it's negative equity. So, I mean, if you're planning to live in this new home for the next 10 to 15 years, then that's something that you may want to consider. But as far as for buying a property, you just want to, buy private sales or bank owned, because you can close these type of deals within 45 days or shorter.
Okay. Well, that's some great information. I really appreciate your time, and thanks again for what you guys do.
Okay,
all right, thanks for the call in.
All right, take care. Bye.
All right, I want to thank Eugene for calling in, and just wanted to go forward with our show. Go ahead, Chuck. What were you saying about some of the things that you look at when somebody wants to work with you, and what's important, I guess?
Well, the first thing we do is we actually sit down again with the client and educate them what's going on. The next thing is we work on the financing, and we educate the client and explain to them, hey, this is actually a dream team that we're putting together, okay? We need your lender on our side. You need to be on the same page. We need to be on the same page as well. So that way, when we go out and start writing offers, we're writing proper offers. And once we start getting offers accepted, we're working directly with your lender. So that way we're all on the same page, and if something happens, we can address the issue right there and then.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it from a loan standpoint, you're really getting approved for a loan. I mean, it's not really something that I can come and say, hey, is this a good deal or not? Because I really don't. We're not obviously as loan officers making offers and negotiating. So
Correct.
Moving forward, we're going to talk about options after short sale and financing as far as what if you had a short sale or foreclosure, what are your options? And, I want to quickly take some time and talk about this. If you had a foreclosure, then you'll have a very hard time purchasing a home again. I think a lot of people think that they have limited options after short sale or foreclosure, but I'm here to tell you guys that's not the truth. It's dependent really on what you want to do and what your options are. If you have some questions about this, you can always call me into the show after this segment. Our show number is 702-257-5396. I wanted to tell you, if you guys are out there and you're like, look, I had a short sale or I had a foreclosure, call me because I can give you some ideas or options, especially if somebody's already told you no, that they can't approve you. Looking at VA loans are they're a very good loan. You know, it's if you had a foreclosure, there's a 24-month waiting period for foreclosure after foreclosure for a VA loan. Now, if you had a conventional loan and you had a short sale, then guess what? You can come right back into a VA loan right away, because VA doesn't really have a specific guideline that says, hey, you have to have a waiting period if you short sold on a conventional loan. You know, you can really come right back into a loan, and that's a great product. If you guys are out there, if you haven't taken advantage of that, please give me a call. I'd like to talk to you more about that. So, you know, I had a situation with a veteran that I recently approved a loan for. This guy came in and told me he had a short sale 4 months ago, and it was on a conventional loan. And he was like, look, you know, I don't know why you're sitting down with me. You know, I've already been told like 2 or 3 different people that I can't get a loan. And I started talking to him, and I was like, look, what was the real reason? He goes, well, you know, they said I have, you know, a 4-year waiting period after short sale for conventional. He's like, I have to wait 3 years for FHA. And I started talking. I said, are you a veteran? He goes, yeah. I go, well, you know, did they exercise that option with you? And they go, no, they never asked that question if I was a veteran or not. And I'm like, you know what? We can probably get you done. Let me see what your information is. So long story short, the guy's approved. I got him approved through my system at Nova, and he's out there making offers as we speak. So if you're a veteran and you haven't exercised that option and you don't know if you're even capable of getting back into a home after short sale or foreclosure, give me a call. I'd like to give you some options on that.
So Dan, what it sounds like here is if you don't think you can qualify for a home loan, it's always best to contact you to actually sit down, because there's a lot of options out there.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. We have a credit services department, and if there is something that comes up that maybe you did have a short sale, maybe you do have to wait. You know, we put together a game plan that says, listen, we need to get you started on rehabilitating your credit. We need to set a game plan of when you can get and repurchase again. And I'm very good on follow-up. So what I do is I put you in my system and say, hey, you know, we're going to call you back at this specific time, you know, from transfer date of whenever that occurred, and we're going to try to get you an attempt to get a loan at that point.
So you're also holding them accountable as well.
Right. Because, I mean, they want somebody they can go to for help, you know, and people need to understand that if you need options, you want to know what your options are, you can always call me and I can give those options, and then we can put a game plan together. And through that process, there's changes that are going on every single week through financing. So I can always be somebody that can support you, ask those or answer those questions that you have, and then still direct you and then call you when the time is ready to go.
And that just reminds me that's just like that case study with Mahea, where she was about 8 months out.
Yeah.
You got her to the credit services. Okay. You got her in the process of going. We held her accountable. Next thing you know, within 8 months, I get a call from you. She's ready to go. Yeah. And I was like, who is this?
I recently had somebody that had a short sale, and they were already past the 3 years of waiting period that they needed, but their credit was still low. And the greatest thing you can do for anybody is get them their credit up to where they can be approved, get them approved for the loan. And then that phone call of what they say is, as far as when they call in that phone call, it's great because it builds so much rapport with them. And then also whoever you're working with, they're like, wow, this thing really does work.
So when you're sitting down with a client and the client lays everything on the table, can you have, or do you give a timeline based upon their situation, or give an idea of how long before they get qualified for and how much they would be able to qualify for?
We can always say, look, you know, here's what you are at the snapshot time of us looking at what your income is, what your assets are, what your credit is. We can give them a good idea, but things change so much. I mean, if you think about it, you know, in a year span, let's say you are waiting a year. You know, who's to say that you won't take a decrease in income or something happens? So we say, look, this is what we can get you and approve you for today if you met the qualifications or guidelines per what we're trying to get you for. And if everything stays the same, in a year, we can approve you for this amount, and we need to get your credit at this level, and we'll get you into a loan.
Great. And is this free?
This is free.
Nice.
This is free. So if you're out there and you're listening to this and you guys want to take advantage of maybe our free credit services, or you want to find out if this is something that could benefit you, again, the number to reach us in studio is 702-257-5396. FHA, there's really no change for FHA as far as waiting period after short sale foreclosure. It's a 36-month waiting period, and it's for both, you know, and that's from transfer date, and that's not something that if you look at it, I had a lady that came in and she came in, she was like, look, I want to buy a house. And she tried to tell me that there was a hardship, and the hardship it's very hard to prove a hardship, guys. So if you're somebody out there that still has short sold their house or had some situation with a short sale, to prove a hardship on a short sale is very difficult to an underwriter, and it really has to be proven. So I'm going to say more often than not, we don't get those approved, but there's still an option because I have got some of them approved if we have the information that's needed. So going to conventional loans, there's a 4-year waiting period on conventional loans. 10% down is what you're going to require. If it's a foreclosure, it's 7 years. And guys, there's another situation where if you had a bankruptcy if you had a Chapter 7 bankruptcy and you included the mortgage in it, they go off of the bankruptcy date. It's a 4-year waiting period for you to get back into a conventional loan if you can prove that. I had a person come in that was able to purchase it was an investment property. She came in and she's like, look, it's funny because once people start to hear things out there, they're like, they want to really exercise options. Somebody that's an investor, they're really in tune with the market. And she called me and she's like, hey, can I get this loan? And I was like, well, let me look at your credit. I got to really see what's showing on there. And, when it came back, it did show up that, yes, there was a bankruptcy with the mortgage in it. And the waiting period already exceeded the 4-year waiting period, and she was approved. She was out looking for homes the next day. So there's options out there, guys. And the one thing I want to tell you is that Nova Home Loans has a home again program that if you don't meet all those, if your only situation is that you can go and wait those time frames about what I just explained to you, and you don't have any other options, there is another option that Nova Home Loans has provided. It's called the Nova Home Again program. This program is for people one day out of short sale foreclosure. If they want to exercise this, it's a 25% down payment. It's credit scores are very lenient. You can come in, you can see if it will work for you. I'd love to sit down and talk to you about it. Rates they're pretty good on this as well. So if you guys want to sit down, you want to talk with me, see if this is something you guys, if you have the assets, if you have no other lates on your credit other than the mortgage, this is something that's there for you. And it's something that we can help you with. And you know what? Since Fannie Mae has changed their guidelines of waiting 2 years for short sale, and now it's 4 years, this has been a hot product for Nova Home Loans because it's a great opportunity. Instead of putting that 20%, you have to put 25% down, but it's still there, and it's a great product. Chuck, do you know anybody that could maybe benefit for something like that? Do you have maybe some investors or somebody that maybe had something go on like that and they're still wanting to buy?
Yeah, of course. And that's where we do that strategic short sale again. And we kind of, we look at their portfolio, figure out what's going on, where they want to be in the next 3 to 5 to 7 years. And we actually structure their portfolio. Then we send them off to you. I
got a couple of Twitter questions here, guys. I got one from James that I want to answer. James, his question is, how do I know when the transfer date occurred if you had a bankruptcy and the mortgage is now showing up on the credit report? Well, James, I mean, what you got to do is you got to find out where that mortgage is at by, first off, I would like to talk to my credit services department to see if we can find out and see if we can trace that mortgage down, why it's not showing up on your credit report. And then we need to see why it needs to be reaffirmed on your credit, so it's accurately reporting. And if that's not the case, then you can actually go directly to the servicer and find out, what's been going on. Why is it not being reported properly on your credit report? So that's something you would need to call me. You would need to talk to me about. I would love to talk to you. You can call me directly again at 702-257-5396, and you can call us into the show if you want to ask that question, or you can reach us at 781-NOVA if you want to schedule an appointment with me, 781-NOVA. I have another Twitter question that's coming across. This is Debbie. Does short selling your home versus foreclosing have a difference in trying to reestablish credit? Well, I mean, if you're short selling your home versus foreclosing, does it have a significant impact? It does. I mean, I think short selling your house is a lot less as far as how it affects you on credit than it would, say, a foreclosure. And the recovery time is quite a bit quicker. I've seen people where they've short sold their house, had a credit score drop almost 100 points, and then within a year they come back up pretty quickly, back to almost where they're at originally. And then somebody that has a foreclosure, typically, and I'm not saying this with everybody, but typically what happens is your foreclosure, you have other things on your credit, because if you let your house go, I'm not saying every time, but more often than not, you have other credit on there that you let go, other trade lines that you let go as well. So a lot of times from what my experiences are, I've seen that people that do have foreclosures, it is a little bit harder. It's a lot, to come back and try to repurchase a home, especially in reestablishing your credit rating.
Now, when you're doing a short sale here, it doesn't really drop. The short sale does not actually drop your credit score. What actually drops your credit score is the amount of months that you're not making the payments.
We got to go to a break, guys. When we come back, we got a whole lot of show left. Chakits is going to talk about the Cadence development project, and we're going to give away 2 for Sammy's Pizza. Welcome back to the Market Snapshot. It's Dan French here, your host from Nova Home Loans. I'm here with my friend Chuck from Simply Vegas. Chakits, how's your day going, man?
My day's going excellent. I'm loving every single bit of it.
Perfect. We have a caller come in. His name's Tiberius. Tiberius, you online?
Hello.
How you doing, sir?
What's going
How
on?
you doing?
Good,
Not
man.
much.
What's happening?
Hey, I got a question. I live over here on the north town part of town,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just wondering, is there certain parts of town that are better to refinance and then better to short sell in?
Well, on the refinancing part, the first thing you got to do is check to see what your property is currently worth. And
Okay.
from there, then you want to look into the refinancing part. So that's where you want to start. So, I mean, if you contact Dan, what we'll do is we'll send you out a CMA and we will reevaluate your property and let you know. And that's kind of your start from there.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you, if you have equity in your home, I mean, it's what type of loan program do you have now?
I was used to be in the military.
Do you have a VA loan?
I think so. I think
Okay.
that's what it is.
Well, I mean, we can. What's your interest rate on that thing right now?
I think it's like 8%.
8%. I mean, I can help you. I don't know, when did you purchase this home?
I purchased it back in '88.
88. Okay. I mean, we can definitely lower your interest rate. You have equity in the home, or do you don't know?
I think so. You know what? I don't know. I live over here off of Donna Street and Lake Mead.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely help you. I would like you to take this number down, and you can call in, and we can set up an appointment for you next week. I can set up a free consultation if you'd like. The number's 781-NOVA.
781.
Yeah, Nova 6682.
Okay. Is that area code 702?
That's an area code 702.
Okay.
And hey, Tiberius, how would you like to go to lunch at Sammy's Pizza?
You know what? I'm vegetarian,
Okay.
but I appreciate the gesture.
All right.
Call
So
you though tomorrow with my wife.
okay. Do you
All right. Thanks for the call.
Okay,
Thanks,
Tiberius, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to go back to the show. Again, if you want a free mortgage assessment or if you have any questions regarding the show, call in studio today at 702-257-5396. You can schedule an appointment with me at 781-NOVA. That's 6682. You can also Twitter me at 781-NOVA. Or if you don't have a Twitter account, you can always message me directly by going to 781nova.com and write your question, and I'll answer it accordingly. Chakits, I just wanted to talk to you about, let's go to the Cadence development project. I want to know about this. What is this?
This is a big new project that's coming up that has been approved by the city and it's already started. What's nice about this is it actually has 2,200 acres of community planning. There's over 13,000 residents that's coming in. Okay. Now, this is actually located out here on Lake Mead and Boulder Highway, just actually east of Boulder Highway. The amenities on this thing is unbelievable. It's going to be all new modern home living. Okay. You're going to have single family residents, townhomes, and condos. There's going to be over 100 acres of sports parks, soccer, baseball. Okay. What's great about this is they got a bike station. Check this out. And this is free for all the residents. It's a bike share program. So basically, you can go from station to station, jump on a bike, and ride around the community, okay?
That's pretty good.
The other thing is that they're going to have bike trails, walking trails, and also recreational centers. They're going to actually have a total of 10 neighborhood parks and 2 large parks. What's also great about this is they're going to have Wi-Fi throughout the whole community.
Wow.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is
so
really
there's
good.
going to be, shoppings, security. Also, there's 4 main builders, Lennar, okay, Woodside Homes, Ryland, and Richmond America. So this is a whole new project development. And if you guys are interested, give us a call and we'll give you more information.
When do they have this? When is this going to be coming up?
It's already started. They've
Okay.
already broke ground. So the project is starting now.
Guys, if you want more information, you can always, again, call in to talk with Chakits or talk to him about what's going on with the Cadence project. You can always call in at 781-NOVA. That's 6682-781-NOVA. And you can also book a consultation with him. Maybe he can give you some information on what you might be looking for if you are looking for a new home build. So let's talk. Let's go ahead and move forward on the show. I'm going to go ahead and give away that pizza for 2. I'm going to give it to Eugene. Being the gentleman that we just spoke with, he's a vegetarian. He's a vegetarian, so we're gonna have to not probably give him that, and then we'll just see what we can do with as far as something else.
So we definitely got to reach out to him.
We definitely got to reach out to him. So I want to talk to you guys about refinances and where they're headed and kind of what's going on with them. Every week I talk about refinances, and everyone listening, there's a lot of changes that's gone on every single week. Like I've said, values change, guidelines change. And if you've been told no because for whatever reason, purchasing or refinancing a home, I want you to reach out to me because I might be able to help you. Even if I can't help you at the time when you meet with me, I can still help you and put a game plan together and put you in a position to buy a home down the road. And I think most people that are in my profession, they don't really assist the client. They don't take them that extra level. They don't have the amenities or options that I have. And because I have them, I want to exercise it with every client and everybody out there that's listening to the show. So if you have had an FHA loan, and I want to talk about FHA loans, we've recently had a reduction in mortgage insurance. The mortgage insurance has now dropped. If you have an FHA loan in the last 5 years, but this really makes sense for me in the last 2 years because if you bought, let's say 3 years ago, it's a decision that you got to look at and see if, hey, I might have equity in my home, so why do I want to go and do a streamline or do an FHA loan to refinance back into it? And then when you do that, you're going to have mortgage insurance for the life of the loan. And that might be something, I don't really consider that if you have, equity in your home, you've been in your home for 3 years, you've now been paying on that mortgage for 3 years. So if you're out there and you've purchased a home in the last 1 or 2 years, this might make sense. And I'm telling you, it's going to help you lower your payment more significantly than somebody that's had this loan for, let's say, 4 or 5 years. So I recently had a person come in to my office and they're like, look, I have a loan. It's an FHA loan. I got it a year ago. And, this person really didn't understand the concept of how I can do this, but there is an option for FHA now where it's little out of money pocket. You can get it with sometimes in some cases, no appraisal. And in some cases, you can get a loan, a reduction in your mortgage insurance and a reduction in your rate through FHA, which is showing your assets and your income. And those things are important because a lot of times when you get a loan and it's so new, you don't want to sometimes go through that whole process again. And this is a very smooth process for most of people that I've dealt with. I've saved $300 off this specific person in their mortgage, which freed up a lot of money, including lowering their interest rate roughly about $100. So I don't know about you, but $400 for me, I'm putting that in my kids', trust fund or something where I can help them and saving money. It was great. She left. Couldn't believe the fact that she saved $400 just by coming in and speaking with me for 30 minutes.
What is a FHA loan?
It's a HUD. It's a government loan, and it's what it is. It's a loan that is insured by the government, and it's something that they give you opportunity. Sometimes with compensating factors, they give you where you can purchase a little bit more of a home that you're looking for. They're a little bit more lenient on your overall picture as a person trying to buy a house.
So for all the listeners out there, how do I know if I have a FHA loan or a conventional loan?
Well, a lot of times you have to call me because most people don't know it. They look at their mortgage statement, they're just paying that mortgage bill every month, and they're not really looking, hey, do I got this? What type of loan program? So if you called me, one, I could look at your mortgage statement and probably see it, but let's say it's not on your mortgage statement for whatever reason. I can also pull your credit, and then I can see what loan product you do have. And that's something, again, everything that you have, if you do have equity and you do have a rate that's, in the fives, let's say, the higher 4s to 5s, we can refinance your loan right now and save a significant amount of money for you.
So on a $200,000 home loan, and let's just say they're at 5%, and let's just say theoretically today's market is at 3.5, and they save about 0.5%. How much money are they really saving?
I mean, they can save. It depends on the loan amount too. Like you said, the $200,000, but they could save on that maybe $350 because you're saving a big chunk on the mortgage insurance if you still have it, and then the reduction in the interest rate as well. You might save about $100.
And is there a fee to streamline or refinance?
Well, there's always a fee, but for Nova Home Loans, I mean, if you come into it and you don't really feel like, hey, I don't want to spend any more money because I just got a loan and I just got into a home, there is other options. We can exercise giving what's called a lender credit, and that's something if you really want to sit down with me, I can talk to you about it. But there is an option for that, and I don't want to go into detail on the show about it, but if you do meet with me, I can provide that to you where it's very little out-of-pocket cost, if sometimes with no cost. So that's very important because, guys, rates have not been this low since the middle of 2013, and you need to exercise if now's the time to refinance your home or not. Because if you do have equity, or let's say you did buy a mortgage, let's say a year or two, maybe even 4 years ago, but for the majority of people, a year or two ago, you're going to save a lot of money just off your mortgage insurance if you have an FHA loan. And if you have equity and you have a conventional loan that you might have an opportunity to get into now because, hey, you might be in an FHA loan and now your interest rate your credit score is up a little bit. It's high enough where we can get conventional mortgage insurance, and now you can approve for that. Sometimes you might have enough equity where you can just remove it altogether.
So just to let you guys know, if you guys actually purchased a property from 2009 to the beginning of 2013, the chances are that you probably do have equity in that home.
Oh, that's a given. I mean, for most situations, I'm sure that we can help you. I want to talk about veterans. We had a veteran call into the show. He had a very a higher interest rate than most that I've heard. But his situation's great because we can really get him into a loan with little or no out-of-pocket expenses as well. And this is also very streamlined. It's very, very smooth coming into, if you are a veteran out there and again, high 4s, into the 5%, we're going to save you a pretty good chunk of money, And if you have an FHA loan, a lot of times you can refinance out of that FHA loan. I've had a recent borrower come in and say, hey, I have an FHA loan. And I wasn't told that I have a VA option. And we removed the mortgage insurance. I lowered his interest rate almost by a full point, and he's saving about $300 a month. So these options are out there. You just got to call. You got to exercise what's out there for you. See if you have equity in your home. If you want to take advantage of where rates are at, you need to call into the show. Maybe we can answer those questions that you do have, or you can always reach us at 781-NOVA, and we can maybe schedule a free consultation to come in and meet with me and see if we can help you. Conventional loans, there was a situation too I want to talk about recently that I had a lady come in and she said, hey, I have a home that I've had for 4 years. I have, a pretty significant amount of equity in the home. And then I looked at her credit, and her credit had quite a bit of debt. Okay. So if you're out there and you're saying, hey, I just want to refinance my loan. Well, if you have enough equity, you might even be able to pay off some of the debt that's in that loan, car payment. I don't know about you, but $500, $600 car payment, that's a lot of money, and that's what I helped her with. She also had a couple of credit cards that I paid off, including lowering her interest rate and including removing mortgage insurance that she still had on the loan 4 years ago.
So how much equity do you actually need to refinance or streamline?
Well, you only need 5% to do a refinance on a conventional loan, but your rating has got to be, and that's for conventional loans, your rating has got to be higher than most. It's got to be at a certain level for me. And the only way for me to really see that, I need to sit down and talk with you, but it's got to be at a level where we can get the conventional mortgage insurance that's on there. And then you only need 5% equity to do a rate and term refinance.
So no matter what your situation is, there's a lot of options out there.
There's a ton of options, I mean, we even have an option. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but let's say you did have a short sale foreclosure program, or the short sale foreclosure program that we do offer. Let's say you did have a short sale or foreclosure. There's even a refinance option through that. So, yeah, I mean, and that's something that's a case-by-case situation. Again, that program is more of a strategic type of borrower that let that property go because it was a negative asset on the books. So if you're out there and you're listening and you want more information on refinances or anything pertaining to loans, real estate, give us a call. Schedule an appointment with us, 781-NOVA, 781-NOVA. That's 6682. You can also Twitter me at 781-NOVA, or you can send a message at 781nova.com, and we can answer any questions you guys have pertaining to any loans or anything that you have as far as that goes. Let's go ahead and move forward, Chuck. And I want to ask you one thing.
Yeah, go ahead. Ask me anything. What do you want?
Is it a good time to buy?
It really depends on your situation. If you're just moving out here to Vegas and you're going to be out here for 2 years and you're looking to buy new homes, to answer your question, no, it's not going to be.
Right.
Now, if you want a new homes and you know that you're going to be out here for the next 10 to 15 years, and that's something that you want, then yes, it is a good buy.
So if you're out there and you say, hey, you know what are the hot spots? Where's the hot spots at in Vegas?
Well, the hot spots right now is obviously Henderson is coming up with that 2,200 acre community plan development. Henderson, was one of the first cities that was actually out here and it was built. I mean, the city of Henderson actually was called the city of Henderson since 1953, and the population at that time was only 7,000. Now we're here today. We're over 250,000, and a lot of development is going on. But I remember back about 15 years ago, Henderson was a hot spot, but now, it moved out to the southwest and also on the south side of town.
Right.
But with this new development plan, a lot of people are starting to flock to this area, and the average medium household income out here is about $65,000.
Okay.
So that's a potential place to start looking into.
I want to jump to some questions. We have a question here, email question at 781.com, 781nova.com. The question is, when do I know it's a good time to short sale my house? Can you answer that? Because I can't answer that.
When it's a good time to short, the first thing you got to do is sit down with an agent, okay? And the agent's going to find out from you what's your current financial situation at that time. What is it that you are looking to do? Then we start running the numbers, and we start, putting, pen to paper and start penciling everything out.
Right.
And we show the process of, hey, if we do a short sale, this is how fast I can get you out of your situation versus if you did a foreclosure. And everything breaks down to math. Okay. And if it works out, then we move forward with that process.
How long is the normal foreclosure taking right now, process-wise? Like, let's say if I said, hey, I want to buy a short sale. I know they took a long time before. It was like 6 months sometimes. It was like even some I had like a year, and I'm like.
Now here's the thing with these short sales, because, we have like less than about 12% on the market right now. The short sales, if you are a real estate investor, it's good to buy these type of deals because you can submit multiple offers and sit and wait and try to get these type of deals, okay? But if you're a person that's coming out here wanting to buy a home, wanting to move in, you probably want to stay away from a short sale because you may not get that deal. But keep in mind, with us, what we do is if we go out and we start looking at homes and you do fall in love with the short sale, we still do submit an offer on that short sale. But I tell my clients, don't put all your eggs in one basket. We're still going to go out. We're going to look at REOs and some private sales. And if something else gets accepted, then we're going to go ahead and move forward with that process.
Gotcha. Okay. If you guys want information, again, you can contact 781-NOVA to schedule an appointment with Chakits to see if we can sit down and talk about if it makes sense to do a short sale. I have another question coming through here. If I have 5 properties, how many more can I buy? Well, when you say properties, it's really dependent on mortgages. How many mortgages do you have? If you have, let's say, 5 mortgages and there's a mortgage attached to every property, Nova Home Loans has an opportunity where we can do an additional 5 properties. So we can do a maximum of 10. Most companies, or not companies, but most banks, they do only up to 4 because that's a Fannie Mae guideline, but we can do up to 10. So if you're an investor out there that you're saying, hey, can I get more properties than what I currently have? Call me. You can call me again at 781-NOVA, 781-6682, and you can schedule an appointment, sit down. We can sit down, see if that will benefit you.
And if you're looking to do something like that, it's very important to get that dream team on your side, because just because you have that debt to income ratio and you can purchase those homes, the main thing is that, are you structured right? Are you running this thing like a business? Okay, because at the end of the day, we want to provide to the lender that, hey, this is a real business for us and we're leveraging out our money. We're showing income and we're just not writing it off, and we're able to obtain more loans.
I also want to tell you, we gave away a free lunch here for Sammy's Pizza, and I wanted to thank you for the callers that called in. I also want to say, if you do call in or you do schedule an appointment with us, a free consultation, and we do get you approved for a loan or we do get you into a home, Chakits and I are going to give away a free appraisal. I'm going to give away a free appraisal if you do this. And we're also going to give away a free home inspection. Okay, so if you guys call in and you get your loan through us and you get a home through Chakits, we're going to give you a free appraisal, and we're also going to give you a free home inspection.
So what that means is basically you're probably buying a home with pennies on the dollar. So if you're doing an FHA and I'm asking for closing costs, you're paying for the appraisal, I'm paying for the inspection.
Yeah.
You're basically getting in for pennies on the dollar.
Let me say this. I mean, there's no other reason why I would say, hey, go to somebody else, talk with us about how we can help you. And, when you call into the show, again, you want to call in, you want to schedule a free consultation, you can call in at 781-6682. That's 781-NOVA. Schedule your free consultation, and we'll sit down with you and see how we can help and educate you. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is that every week we're here at 12 to 1. And you can always reach out to me by email at 781nova.com. You can maybe have a question. You can always send me a question, and I will answer that also throughout the week. That's something that's at your leisure if you would like to do that. And moving forward, Chuck, you have anything else to say about the hopscotch or anything?
Yeah, have you made the decision or what's going on?
Well, I'm thinking about it, but my number, is it taken? It's 18. Do you still have that available?
Yeah, whatever you want, man. We'll sign you up. I mean, we already doubled on the jersey side. What are you, extra large, or was it?
No, I mean, I'm not that big, but I'm, I guess, extra large. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions regarding the show, if you want to tune in next week, we'd love to hear from you and your calls. You can reach us next week from 12 to 1. Chakits and I will be back here giving market statistics. I'll giving you the interest rate trending. And, if you want to reach us again outside of the show, you can call us at 781-NOVA. That's 6682. We'll schedule a free consultation. You can sit down. My clients, they come in and I tell you every week, I mean, again, buying a home, the process and the fun part is going and looking for the home. It's not going and crunching numbers with a loan officer, and I understand that. So when you come in and meet with me, I'm going to ask you for the minimum requirement of documentation. You're going to come in, and my consultations last about 30 minutes. It's not a very long process because, listen, I know you got a day that you want to, get on with your day. You don't want to come in and sit down and go through a long process. You want to get in and get out. And, anybody that comes and meets with me, they're going to be approved very quickly if they have everything that's needed, and you guys will be out looking for a home and doing the fun part.
And is there a fee for that?
It's free.
It's free.
Just like our credit services, it's free. So
nice.
If you guys have any questions, again, call us outside studio. We'll look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, 12 to 1. It's Dan French with Nova Home Loans, and I'm here with Chakits, and we want to say thank you for your listenership, and we'll talk to you next week.